प्रोडक्शन के लेवल पे या वैल्यू चेन में जो टेक्नोलॉजीज जो यूज होती हैं उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताएं, जानकारी दें, और ताकि हमारे तमाम जो प्रतिनिधि यहाँ जुड़े हुए हैं वो उसका लाभ ले सकें। मैं अनुरोध करूंगा डॉक्टर हरिकृष्ण मिश्रा जी से, आप अपने विचार रखें।
नमस्ते। It's nice that we are assembled again, but with a separate agenda. I'm very happy and fortunate that representatives from NDDB and GSMF are also here. Those who are those two organizations are closely associated with us, and they are all we all are towards this technology induction and management objectives. Dairy sector has traversed a long path, and today we are proud that we are one of the largest dairy producers in the world. I'm also fortunate that I have been associated with GSMF since long, and I could see their inclination towards technology adoption, innovative technologies. High-end ERP has come in. A lot of innovative devices are also being pushed into the sector to benefit the farmer members, and also the value chains in the upward value chains. At the same time, also the backward value chain, the reverse value chain, also is coming up in a very good way. NDDB's policy push also is visible in terms of this reverse value chain. If you take a global perspective, the contemporary technologies have been abound, and today Industry 5.0 is emerging. And India is yet to fully capitalize on Industry 4.0. So why am I saying this? The technology imperatives will always be there. Perhaps somewhere down the line, supply-driven innovations should also be culminating into demand-driven practices and technology adoption as well as use. Dairy sector has been very sensitive to technology adoption, and it also takes a lot of insights to market-driven technologies. If you look at today, the contemporary technologies talk about are very sensitive about green production, cost optimization, personalization of services. Those things are actually the need of the hour. Personalization means, can a member get a personally designed to services as on demand we can talk about. So there are various technology architectures which are already there. And if you look at, I will not talk about Industry 5.0, which is will be coming up very soon. And also a few of the countries have tried to bring in their policy level interventions. I shall try to localize my thoughts around Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 talks about the Internet of Things, machine learning, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality. These are the few elements of your Industry 4.0. So is the dairy sector equipped, or is there any scope for the dairy sector to get into such type of zones? And is already there. It's not that we are not using all these. Even today, what is an IoT? Any device which is internet enabled can be sensitized and through an algorithm which can interface with the remote end service provider. Then we are there. So make a device internet enabled is a huge leap in the technology front. Think of, and it is there in the GSMF supply chain logistics network, that a truck or the tanker which is carrying milk can transmit real time the milk quantity, milk viscosity, milk, all the parameters that are required, and also the time to reach the processing plant or the dockyard, reception yard. So that gives a lot of insights to your logistics management, supply chain optimization cost, as well as supply chain optimized time. And even route planning also is coming up based on IoT enabled networks. You can always see the immediate benefits of supply chain optimization in terms of network. It not only saves your fuel, but also contributes to the greener production and contribute hugely towards climate change. That's about one huge network. When you scale up the dairy sector operations, we have to be very careful about the logistics part of it. And Industry 4.0 can give that impetus. As for NASSCOM, the Industry 4.0 enabled devices are growing in or having a share of 8% in agriculture, 9% in retail, 13% in logistics, and 18% in manufacturing. And dairy sector can learn from it and ensure that these things are taken care of and imbibed. I'm not saying that they're not doing it. National Dairy Plan also is trying to have systematic improvements. Digital India policy, digital communication policy also is these two are coming up into the forum where to give policy push in Industry 4.0 compliant devices. So everywhere, even your artificial insemination kits, where the entire kit is located, can also be IoT enabled to see what is the temperature and how the entire thing is being maintained there. I'm not saying that you have to put IoT on the collar or the tag of your cattle. Perhaps that can be possible, and your milching machine can also have IoTs. So if that is happening, that's huge leap in your production scenario. Not only production but also collection, aggregation, logistics, processing, and you can go on, and then to the retailers. And if you look at the India absorbing, Industry 4.0, Industry 4.0 devices, 9% is in retail, as I repeat, and 13% in logistics. That's a huge leap. Perhaps we have to take note of this, and there are various manufacturers, just like your, you can say some of the manufacturers could be your Stellabs, Akashganga, Rail, Me Robot, GES. So there are so many service providers, those who also manufacture devices. They can come to the network. We can also see whether Industry 4.0 compliant milching machines, AMCUs, BMCUs, tankers, and also chilling units. It is going to give a lot of fillip to your production process, production quality, and even some milk transportation without diluting the quality concerns. FSSAI says that 68% of dairy products have the scope to meet the standards. So testing, IoT-enabled testing devices can also be part of the entire innovation cycle. It talks about testing, dairy devices testing forecast globally is growing at the rate of 7 to 8%, and by 2025 the market will be around 4.5 billion US dollars. What does it mean? That means technology is spreading, technology is maturing. So we have there is always a requirement of the policy push. Somewhere down the line, you have to see that scale up strategies are there at the policy level, and we have to be very observing in terms of technology identification as well as your absorption. That's about Industry 4.0. What about Wave 4.0? We are also going towards Wave 5.0. I'm not talking about that. Wave 4.0 talks about your virtual reality and augmented reality, which is in the back end. Federations like GSMM, which are very high-end technology oriented with their ERP solutions in the back end, is a benchmark that you can always think of. If the back end is ERP enabled, you've got a huge scope of getting into Web 4.0 compliance. Web 4.0 also talks about how exactly the information is being carried over the network across all the devices. So a browser-based network can also be created with the backend ERP looking at it for consolidation. So that's possible, and we can always make use of these devices to ensure that the optimized cost of ownership is actually there. This is Web 4.0 also has paved the way for your cloud computing. Cloud computing is essential for Industry 4.0, Web 4.0, as well as your Industry 5.0. It talks about how your software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service can be leveraged with least cost. And we don't need to worry much about deployment of infrastructure. Just pay for the service that you want, pay for the space that you want, and it will be there on demand. So there is a huge technology backup which is already there in our scheme of things, and cloud services are not new to Indian market today. Various big players are also getting into. So these are the few things I must I thought of sharing with you. And what I'm trying to suggest here is that dairy sector is part of FMCG, and disruption of right technologies, their technology induction, technology adoption, they all need a lot of trained manpower. So there is a need for policy push to ensure that the right type of technology exposure is there to all the dairy sector related HR, human resources, and that has to be taken up very early now. So we know the NCCT has a role to actually devise appropriate pedagogy, appropriate courses, appropriate curricula to ensure that the called management programs that we are going to have, not only management programs but also skill development programs, are built into the training as a package. Those things are absolutely necessary to keep pace with the technology advancements, and for that we need to have in training incubation centers also, if not training of the trainers. So those things are actually should needed as a policy roadmap, and somebody there has to be a steering or visionary group who should be always spearheading with a lot of standard operating procedures, and also trying to see whether the dairy members or cooperators or even producer companies members, they're all well trained. Fourth, the last one I will say, which the NCDFI MD was trying to suggest, that governance. Governance is part of the entire game of your either producer company or in a cooperative setup, which are called user-owned farms. That means users have a larger role to play in not only getting the services, but also giving their products and also trying to govern the same organization. In that case, technology can come up in a huge way. Now, devices, there is one interesting data that I have. By 2025, around 45 billion devices, including mobile can also be IoT enabled, are going to be Industry 4.0 compliant. Somewhere down the line, maybe in a cooperative society, we can have a tab which is Industry 4.0 compliant. We can give them virtual reality situations, how the BMCU is working, how the MCU is collecting, how the milching machine is actually working, how artificial insemination kits are working in favor or not, how veterinary doctors are moving around. Those things can be part of your training curricula. So for that, I need incubation, I need ideation, I need innovation. Then you can go for commercialization, and then total cost of ownership has to be in favor of the members. If these things do not happen, we shall remain in a zone called rudimentary production process, rudimentary supply chain, rudimentary retailing, and will continue to uh, actually have the scenario which is not optimized. It is not in favor of the member returns. So technology is going to help a lot in ensuring that member returns are optimized and member returns are increasing. Thank you very much.